Hey everyone, this is Elias from RevMatch Media, and today we're going to be taking a look at the 2022 GMC Sierra Denali. Now, this thing is all about truck luxury. Well, let's go ahead and get started. We get to the front and we can see this thing is massive. It's big and it's bold and it's chrome. A lot of chrome. So we start off with the headlights. These things are awesome. I do love the little kind of sieve or the kind of bracket lights that we have with these LED headlights here, as well as the nice LED fog lights we have here. We get to that big chrome grille, and it's big and it's chrome and it's a grille. So it definitely looks beautiful, looks the part. And then we also have the camera system in the front for that HD surround vision that this has. One of the best systems, if not the best systems that I've used, and I love it. It makes this big guy very easy to park, making sure you don't damage any of this here. We do have the nice chrome recovery hooks down here, and a little bit more of some chrome accents down here. But overall, this thing is really, really nice. Well, let's go ahead and get under the hood and see what we have in there. We get under the hood and we have a massive 6.2 liter V8 under here. It is cranking out 420 horsepower and 460 pound-feet of torque. It is connected to the 10-speed auto and then to the 4x4 system. Now, let me tell you, this guy is big, and with rising prices of gas this week, I was a little concerned of like, oh boy, I'm gonna have to fill this guy up, or have to spend a lot of money with this because of the gas consumption that is typically obviously with a V8, but not in this case. I was actually able to get, in a smallish road trip, I was able to get a best, because they do have a best reading of 21.1 miles to the gallon. And the average for that trip was 19.1. Oh, actually 19.8. I stand corrected, 19.8, which is really good. And it was combined. So I was doing some highway, was doing some street driving or city driving. But that's the biggest thing that really surprised me with this. I thought I was going to use up a lot more gas, but surprisingly I didn't. And this thing sounds great. It shifts smooth. It's just a really good power delivering package. I was really surprised by how good this performed. Well, let's go ahead and see what we have in those wheels and tires. We get down to the wheel and tire package and we have a massive 22-inch high gloss black wheel. These things look awesome. I love the design. I love the really, really glossy black color to them. It looks really good with the color of the truck itself. And it is wrapped in the Bridgestone 275/50, and this combination has been really good. No complaints. First of all, it looks great. And performance-wise, it was smooth, quiet, no issues, no road noise. It's not a very aggressive off-road tire, so don't expect to get this guy dirty, especially with a big wheel like this. But even though you do have a good amount of sidewall to this, but yeah, been super smooth, great for the road. And the suspension underneath here is really good. The adaptive suspension has been smooth, again, paired up with, again, even with this big wheel package, it's been great. It's been comfortable to drive. The only thing I am a little kind of about is the brakes. The brakes are a little on the tough side regarding the pedal. So you do have to put a lot of force to get this guy going, or actually stopped. But it's not that the brakes aren't good, it's just the pedal. The pedal feels really, really strong. So make sure you skip leg day, because if you're sore from the gym from leg day, yeah, you're gonna be even more sore when you try to get this big guy stopped. Well, let's go ahead and see what we have on the side. We get to the side and we can see this thing is big and it's a box, and I love it. I've always loved those 80s and 90s box designs, and this is up there with it. So we can see a little bit of the headlight right there, which looks nice. We have the massive 22-inch wheels, which fill the wheel well, but still give you a little bit of clearance there. The nice Carbon Pro 6.2 liter badge there to let everyone know there's some cool little things in here, and a big boy right under that hood. We have the mirror here that has the camera system underneath to help with that HD surround vision that I love so much. We also have the little LED lights right here in the back of the mirror, which is nice. Now, weird thing about this is these mirrors are more on the long side than on the tall side. So it's kind of almost like, you know, it looks like a TV almost, you know, where you get the wider screen, which is nice actually. I was using them and was realizing, wow, this makes a huge difference that it's not such a tall mirror, but it's a wider mirror. First, it gives you clarity with any blind spots, but then it gives you that little extra width to see anything that's beyond your or near your blind spot. Not to worry though, it does have blind spot monitoring there. We get to the door and we have the nice Denali in chrome. We have nice chrome handles. We have chrome trim. We have the truck bed back there. And a couple of things. Let's go ahead and take a look at the keyless entry. So key fob is in my pocket. Truck is locked. I go to grab the door handle and pull, and it does not unlock. So it is not going to unlock by simply putting your hand and pulling it. It does have a button. So you do have to press the button in order to unlock, and it does open up. And when you open up, we do have a deployable step. Now, this has been really good. So I know with the Silverado, I did have a little bit of a play with the step. It does have it, not as much as the other one, but it still does have a little bit of a little movement there. So just be aware of that. You close it and it's gonna go ahead and go back in. The other thing with this as well is you do have the button to lock, but you also have it in the back, which is nice. So even though I don't have the sensor, I can just press the button to unlock and I am good to go, which is good. Halfway there. I would have liked not to have to press the button. I know, little nitpicks. One thing that I missed in the Silverado is the fact that you have a button in the back of the step, which what that does is it actually moves the step back. So bed entry is really easy. If you need to grab something from back here, it's a breeze. It really is. It's really easy to get in. And then when you're done, you go ahead and push it and it does that. And again, you can see that is there for normal passengers. And when I push it, it pushes it right back. Really great. Small little detail, but definitely makes a world of a difference when you're needing to load something in the back. Speaking about loading something in the back, let's go ahead and check out what we have in this awesome bed. We get to the back and we have a really nice looking rear in the Sierra Denali. A couple of things. The taillights, I love the very angular design that they have to them. Again, fits well with that boxy, modern boxy design that the Sierra has. Now, when we take a look at the rear bumper, I do like the fact that we have the cutouts on both sides to make bed entry really, really easy. And I like the fact that it's actually painted. I was expecting chrome, but yeah, the black looks really good, you know, with it being some Denali and all, you know, chrome excess. But we have that. And we have the tow package here. We're looking at 7,100 pounds for towing with this. And with that HD surround vision, we do have the camera hookups right in here for 2 additional cameras. But yeah, this looks really good. Now let's take a look at this tailgate. So we do have a couple of buttons here. We push the top button, and what that's going to do, it's going to lower this top part. Makes it great for a working surface. So if you need to have a laptop or you need to have just something on here, again, more of a platform. And it's not just the whole tailgate, but I like the fact that it's the height. This is the important part of this half. Now, when we go ahead and we'll put this up and we'll drop the whole bed, we can see we have, again, just your normal tailgate, but it's not. As far as getting into the bed, we do have a carbon composite bed in this. It looks really good. I do like, you can see the pattern of the carbon fiber on here. So yeah, definitely it has the LED lights, has different tie down points, which is good. And then getting back to the tailgate, when we go ahead and press that button there, we do have this opening here. It's such a small thing, but it makes a world of difference when you're carrying something heavy and need that additional, or actually, yeah, you need the additional space to go ahead and put it a little bit further back into the truck bed. Now, when I push this button down here, it does give me this step. So again, pickup truck bed entry is really, really easy with this Sierra, with the MultiPro tailgate. But this adds a different element to it. This has a kicker speaker system down here. I can actually go ahead and Bluetooth into this, and you know, if you're literally tailgating, you can have a seat here, put your feet here, and have some music coming out of the bottom. It's pretty cool. I would definitely option this out. You do have your USB port in here, or your aux input, so you can charge your device if you're wanting to do that. You can go ahead and close this up, bring this up, and then bring this up. It is a little bit on the heavier side compared to the others, but it's just due to all the different configurations you can have in this. Now, when we take a look at the exhaust, the tips, they're not real. They're not real. The actual exhaust tubing goes to the back of that. So yeah, they're kind of faux tips, but we have that. Now, let me go ahead and grab our key, because with the key fob, a couple of things with the tailgate is I can push it twice and it does come down, which is nice. It doesn't come up, but beggars can't be choosers. So you get that guy up. You can also bring it down from inside of the truck as well, which is nice. But the other thing is the remote start. So I can go ahead and push the lock button and then hold the other button. Oh yeah, we have a big V8 under there to get this guy going. Well, speaking about getting this guy going, let's go ahead and go for a ride. You get inside of the Sierra Denali, and this thing is really nice. There is a lot of dark leather in here, and it's really, really good. So a couple of things. We get started on the seats, and these things are super comfortable. They do look a little on the dark side, almost black. I don't know how good that's going to show you, but it's really a brown. It's a really dark brown, and it actually has blue accents. I didn't realize this till, yeah, one morning I went to get in the truck and the sun was hitting it, and you could see the blue. So again, it's a really dark color, but it looks really, really good. Even the stitching is in that blue color as well. So it's definitely a nice design. And comfort, dear Lord, it's there. It really is extremely comfortable seat. I could literally go cross country in this thing and not have a problem with comfort in these seats. And they are heated and cooled, which is nice, whether literally if the weather is wanting to go really crazy one day, like it has been recently, and then hot the other. So you do have that, and it works really good. My thing is always vented seats, and this really works well. We get over to the steering wheel, and the steering wheel is nice and big. It is a very truck-like steering wheel, and it feels comfortable. Again, we're dealing with that dark brown leather finish to it. It feels nice. It's got that blue stitching on it. Overall, there's really no complaints, and the feedback we're getting from the road is really, really nice with this. We do have the buttons in the back, which I really, really love, to change your track and to change your volume. So definitely a nice plus, because that frees up the front for other buttons. And yeah, we're gonna get into it. GM, the Sierra and the Silverado both had things that I don't like in the steering wheel, which is the buttons. So when you take a look at these top and bottom buttons, they're not buttons, they're just plastic pieces. You have to activate it with the wheel. Yeah, a big little thing, if I were to nitpick, that I not a really big fan of, but we have that. Then we get to the gauge cluster, and we still have analog gauges. We do have a display in the middle. There's not much going on in the middle. There's nothing kind of exciting or anything really good in this. One thing I do like though is at the top we do have all your temperature gauges, which is really good. So you have your oil, you have your, you also have your coolant temperature, your gas gauge, and your battery. And when you go into tow mode, it does change the battery into the transmission temperature, which is nice. Nice little touch there. But yeah, can't wait for that big screen to replace those two analog gauges. It should be a nice design. If it's anything similar to the Tahoe that I've driven that had the display, it should be a big hit. So I'm excited for that. Then we take a look at our heads up. I don't know if I'll be able to capture it, but it's really clear. It's really sharp. It's got some off-road telemetry on it, which is pretty cool. And yeah, it's just overall, it's a nice big display. That's the big thing. It's not super tiny. It's nice and big. I can clearly see the items. We come over to the infotainment system, and this thing is kind of lacking. Size does matter. This is a very tiny screen. Again, can't wait for that new infotainment screen to come out because it is huge. It's massive. So that should be good to, be able to see this camera system, which, like I said, it's spectacular. It's really clear. Even on the tiny screen, you are able to see a lot of detail in this. So I'm excited for that. It should be a good thing. Now, what I do like about this is it does have wireless Apple CarPlay, and it's been really good. Haven't had any connection issues, just once actually, and immediately reconnected, which is a good thing. Obviously, I don't have to fiddle with anything. It just realized it disconnected and connected back on. Now, we get down here a little bit. We do have some hard buttons. I wish the camera button was this middle block here, or maybe replace one of these for a programmable button that you can say, okay, let's make that the camera button. Because again, it would be nice to have that on a single touch. Then we come down here to the AC controls. Fairly simple, no issues with the layout of it. We do have your seat controls there for heated or vented option. And then we come down here where we have more of the truck, I like to say, buttons, which have a nice feel to them. One of the cool things, again, is you can actually deploy the side step from within the truck in a button and not having to go into a menu system, which is really nice. Then we come a little bit lower and we have the brake trailer system here. 7,100 pounds is what this guy can tow. We do have the USB ports on there. We do have your 12-volt charger there and a full power outlet there. And then we come down here and we have the wireless charger. It's been really good. Even with my phone that has a case, my wife's that has a case and one of those little things that pop out to hold the phones better. I forgot the name. It was actually able to charge through that, which was really good. And we have a little cubby there in case we have a second phone or in case she decided to use the cable and put it there. So good deal there. Cup holders, no complaints there. Normal size cups with no issues, bigger size cups with no issues as well. We get back to the armrest, and this thing is big. This thing is super comfortable, and when you go ahead and open it up, you have a ton of space. Yeah, you really have no complaints. I really have no complaints over the amount of stuff that you could put in there. Then we have the cup holders in the back for people that are sitting in the back. Then we get to the back and you can see I have my kid's seat back there, and he was comfortable. No issues getting him in as well. It does give me enough space for me to come in to the back and buckle him in a more comfortable way. Probably not as much as Dodge Ram space in the back like I've, always praise about, but it is sufficient enough for for you to get in and be able to buckle in a little one, or to load things up to literally the other opposite side of the back. So no issues there. You can put up the back seat for more space, and underneath there's not much space, but obviously if you need a bigger opening, you have that available there. Now let's talk performance. This thing has a 6.2 liter V8, and it is cranking out 420 horsepower and 460 pound-feet of torque. It is connected to a 10-speed auto and then to the 4x4 system that this has. Now, this thing is big, but the crazy thing is I've actually been able to get some pretty good gas mileage out of it. I did a small kind of loop road trip, and I was able to get at a best 21 miles per gallon, and it was mixed. It was actually mixed driving, and that is pretty good for a big truck like this. Now, the power is there, and the sound is too. You could really get this guy going, and the fact that you have 7,100 pounds that you could tow with this, it's a great combination. Now, I keep going back to the miles per gallon because I was amazed. I was thinking, with rising gas prices, I was like, dear God, I got the biggest possible V8 that I've driven in a really long time. And, how am I going to have to fill this thing up and everything? But no issues there because, again, I was able to be very efficient. And this doesn't have the auto stop, engine where when you're stopped, it turns off. This one didn't have it optioned out. You actually get a credit, which is weird. I definitely would have liked that, and probably would have seen even better miles per gallon on this. But it definitely was surprising to be able to get that. And, I was kind of stomping my feet a little bit to get the truck going. But it also relaxes you in a sense, with the seat and the comfort that this has, to want to, ease into it. It doesn't beg you to just hammer down, but you can if you want. The other thing with this is the suspension. The suspension is really good in this. The adaptive suspension really makes things comfortable in here. It's a big truck. And sometimes big trucks drive like even bigger trucks. So thankfully this doesn't though, and it's extremely comfortable. So that's why I said road trip, this thing all day. I can really spend all day driving this and be extremely comfortable. And again, did I mention the pretty good gas mileage for, some pretty good power numbers as well, and for a big V8. But yeah, this has been extremely comfortable. It's been, nice to drive as well. The steering wheel, the adaptive cruise control is really, really good in this. So this actually makes it for a great family truck. Yeah, I mean, after all, you're paying for the Denali name and the luxury and all those flashy things that, come with the Denali name. But yeah, overall, this thing has been really great. It's performed excellent. It looks so good. I vowed never to get a black vehicle again, but this thing is definitely making me want to change my decision. Well, guys, I hope you've enjoyed my review of the 2022 GMC Sierra Denali. And remember, find the right gear. See ya.